Hello friends, how's it going? It's me, Betty Jean. Today's video is going to be another 3 looks with 3 palettes. I have 3 very fun palettes to share with you. I'm just excited to dive into it. I've been loving doing these videos. I think it's so fun to just, I don't know, throw a bunch of palettes in one video, play with them, kind of doing different style looks and like seeing all the differences and how things play together. It's just so fun. And I know you guys have been enjoying it as well. So thank you so much for that. As always, on top of the 3 looks in this video, I do intend on doing additional looks over on Instagram, YouTube Shorts, all that jazz. In some cases, they might have already been getting posted. So go check those out if you're interested. But I'm gonna give you close-ups, swatches, do 3 looks, and then at the end I will give you my thoughts so far. So without further ado, let's just hop in and discuss the palettes I'm gonna be using today. First is the new Unearthly Just a Taste palette. This is so pretty. I love this. The way my brain sees this palette is like half autumn, half Christmas. It's so cool. I love all the depth. I love all these metallic shades. I think this is so aesthetically pleasing, so fitting for the season. I feel like this is the perfect transitioning from fall into winter. It is so gorgeous. And I believe this is launching the same day this video gets posted on the 21st. I'll of course have all the launch details in the description box. The other 2 palettes have already released, so I'll have everything linked down below. I also do have codes with all 3 of the brands I'm going to talk about, so you can use my affiliate code BATTYBEAN if you end up shopping, and I appreciate it so much. But yeah, this is our first palette for the video, the Unearthly Just a Taste. Second is the Ensley Reign Hoppy Go Lucky. They've been doing this little Woodland Critters series, and this is the second one. This is a cutie little neutral mattes with 2 pops of shifty shadow in the middle. And I feel like with this palette, you can very much lean warm or cool with it if you really focus on the more orangey matte or if you focus on more of this taupe. Because for me, when I did a look over on like Instagram and YouTube Shorts and I paired the dark brown and this like taupey shade together, it created almost a purpley shade, which was really pretty. And the 2 shifty shimmers are absolutely gorgeous. I really like the effects of them on the eyes. I mean, you'll see soon, but this is kind of the vibe of this one, just like a cutie little easy breezy 6-pan. This one launched recently, assuming all continues to go to plan. I think they're releasing one of these every month for at least 9 months is the last thing I heard. And if it's popular, they'll do an entire year. So yeah, this is the second one in this series. And last, I have the Dede Signature Classic Autumn palette. I recently played with the Jingle Bell Ruby from Dede Signature in my last 3 looks 3 palettes. They recently re-released this one and the Jingle Bell Ruby in their newer formula. So we have better mattes, really beautiful shimmers, and I am so excited about this. I loved playing with the Jingle Bell Ruby, so it's been very fun to also dive into the Classic Autumn. I love an autumnal palette. I love an autumnal color story. I just love these grungy muted shades. I think they are so pretty, so I'm very excited. I've loved seeing just how this brand has continued to evolve. I like that they brought back these really beautiful color stories in the updated formula, especially because for me, I never owned these palettes to begin with, so I'm really happy to have these color stories that I personally deem as my favorite from them at this point, the Jingle Bell Ruby and the Classic Autumn in the new formula. So very pretty. I love all these different metallics. I love how all these different tones play together. Very much giving Thanksgiving in a palette. I think part of that's just the shade names though. They're all food themed. So yeah, those are all of the palettes. Like I said, I'll have all of them linked down below as well as any launch details regarding that Unearthly palette. And again, you can use my affiliate code BATTYBEAN to save on all 3 of these brand sites, and I appreciate it so much. So yeah, without further ado, let's just hop in and play with these 3 palettes, and at the end of the video, I'll give you my thoughts so far. Okay, hello, look number 1. I want to dive in with the Just a Taste palette from Unearthly. I'm so stoked. This is so pretty. These colors are just so good. I want to do something really dramatic. I want cut creasiness. I want a little bit of a red purple combo. I think it's going to be great. As far as my accessory details today, this choker is Shop Sun & Co. and then these earrings are from Suki Blade. So let's just hop in. I'm going to start by priming with my Profusion primer. Just going to take a little dollop and blend it out. Okay, let's get started. I'm going to start with Forbidden Embrace, this light purple. I just want to get a little bit of a lighter shade laid down in my crease before I start deepening it up with all the other shades. This is a Blend Benny B5 brush, and I'm just going to very lightly just kind of scoot from inner to outer, and I'm flicking it up toward the tail just a bit because I am doing a full cut crease today. So just doing nice little motions here. And I like the main amount of pigment to be like kind of centered And then I want it to kind of fade as we get to the inner and outer. It's looking nice already. I can see the vision. I'm also gonna go ahead and just drag a little bit on the outer part of that lower lash line just to get a little bit of definition building up, because pretty much what I do in the crease, I'm gonna replicate on that lower lash line as well. All right, let's deepen things up. I'm actually gonna start with this one over here, Nocturnal Kiss. I'm gonna use this little Sigma E36. It's nice and long and kind of floppy, so I can really tuck it deep in that crease and kind of follow that same sort of shape. So I'm just taking this really deep, like blackened red and kind of repeating that motion all the way from inner and then flicking it up toward my tail for the outer. This is gonna be so moody and pretty. I'm so excited about it. It's gonna be so good. I'm gonna take that same shade on this Blend Bunny B2, just a little bit more of a pencil brush to press really tight against the outer corner of that lower lash, just to get a little bit more smokiness. All right, I want to take Veins of Velvet now, this red. I'm gonna use this Sigma E42. I kind of went like lightest to darkest and now the middle. So I'm going to just very lightly, again, just sort of repeat that same thing. Just the only difference is these are different sized brushes, so they're gonna give like different levels of detail in that crease. So I'm kind of helping to merge together that darkest black and red with that first light purple that I laid down with this red. And I'll kind of go back in with my previous shades as well and just sort of keep blending until I like the effect. And I'm not worried about my lid at all because I'm going to be cutting it, so it doesn't matter if my lid doesn't look precise. I'm mostly just focused with my crease work and the blending that I'm creating. While I'm down here, I might as well just add a little bit of this red to that outer corner of the lower lash line. I'm just doing the outer corner only because I like the effect of that. It's really not any deeper. And now is when I'll start kind of going through with my previous brushes and just doing a little bit more, just sort of light blending and sprucing up. And then once I'm satisfied with this, that's when I'll go in with my lid and we'll start creating some magic with some shimmers. I'm excited. I just want to go in with a teeny bit more of Nocturnal Kiss though, that darkest shade, just to really intensify and add some extra depth. I think that looks really, really pretty. Okay, I'm pretty happy with where all of this is going, so let's move on to the lid. I'm gonna take my Bella Beauty Bar Shimmer Stay. I'm going to just kind of like put a little dabble of it across my lid. And then I'm gonna take a flat brush, this is also from Blend Bunny, and I'm gonna kind of tap it and then sort of start carving out my cut crease. I personally go just above my natural crease and I kind of follow the roundness. And I'll kind of follow that same sort of shape I was doing before. Kind of sort of something like that. Okay, so I want to use 3 shimmers because I simply can't help myself. I want to start with Haunted Heart. I'm going to let it blend down into Crimson Thirst, and I want it to end with Dark Seduction. So starting with Haunted Heart, I'm just going to take that same brush that I used to put my eyeshadow primer down, and I'm going to follow this really right at the cut all the way across. I want really this to be kind of the separation between the darker shimmers and this cut crease action. So I'm just kind of lightly following this all the way and getting that nice and crispy. I'm actually really enamored by how sparkly that is. I mean, look at that. That is so pretty. I'll kind of build up a little bit more in this like front corner because I want that to be kind of my front statement, if you will. Flipping that brush over to the clean side, I'm taking Crimson Thirst and I'm gonna kind of focus this kind of on the rest of my eye. I'm gonna leave like this very bottom pocket sort of blank, but I do want this to kind of, you know, start in the middle and still kind of feather up toward the outer part of my lid that's going on, up toward that tail a little bit, sort of like that. And I'll kind of go back and forth between both sides of the brush to get those to match together. That is so pretty. Really like that splash of red in there, that's gorgeous. And last, I want to take that Dark Seduction shade. I need a tiny brush. I'm gonna use this little smudgy brush from Gavissi, the G204. Just something really small and dense and compact so I can really press it against those lashes in the outer corner and kind of feather it outward. Just to add a little bit more depth, a little bit more something that I feel like really ties it together. Just having that, It's almost like a wing, but without being a wing. Like I'm not lining my eyes with like eyeliner, but adding this like dark shimmer to the bottom and the outer corner is kind of giving a little bit of that illusion. I'm going to, again, just kind of tap with my previous brush. I'm also just gonna take this big fluffy brush with nothing on it to kind of blend this outer corner of the lid where the shimmer is, just so it doesn't just stop harshly. I want it to kind of fade off really into nothing as we get to like, you know, my skin. Oh, I just think that's so pretty. Let's just keep adding shimmer because I can. I'm gonna take Fanged Charm, this purple. I want that on my lower lash line. I'm gonna use the Blend Bunny B2 brush I used earlier. I just wiped it off first. And I wanna place this in like the front half of that lower lash line, fading into the mattes that I laid down earlier. Just for a little pop of sparkle, a little something. I can't get over these shimmers, so I just want to keep adding more. I think that is so pretty. This is such a dramatic look. I love it. And then for my inner corner, let's use Mortal Dusk. I think that could be cool and add some nice contrast. Just gonna use this little Lethal Cosmetics brush, and I'm just gonna press that. Ooh, that's so pretty. It has a really like vibrant pinky red shift, so I think that's just so charming. Okay, I started just kind of like doing my own adventure. Usually I do my eye pencil and mascara off camera, and then I do lips with you, and I just started doing my lips while I did my mascara, so let me like catch you up. I did throw in an eye pencil. This is the shade Compassion, just like a nice burgundy from Rare Beauty. I threw on my Milk Makeup Kush mascara. Let me put it back. And then I started doing my lips, so I want something kind of vampy, like reddish. So I started with this purpley pencil Familia from Melt. I just kind of lined and then like smudged it to fill in. And now I'm gonna take my Secret Garden liquid lip from Likely Makeup. I'm just gonna dot it and then use my finger to pat it out. Just kind of like lightly fill and dot. And it's gonna be so cute. I really like this vibe. I think this is so fun. Here's how look number 1 turned out. I think this is so pretty, just dark, dramatic, vampy. It's very cool. I'm liking all of these purple and red tones. I love the very like bold cut crease. I love the bold lip. It's all doing good things, and I hope you like it too. But let's go ahead on now to look number 2. Okay, hello, look number 2. Let's just dive in. I have little Primark earrings, Amazon plugs, and a Suki Blade necklace. So let's just hop in. For look number 2, I want to play with the Hoppy Go Lucky from Ensley Reign. This is their November palette for the little woodland critter palettes that they started doing. This is the second one. I've technically already done a look with this over on like Instagram, TikTok, YouTube Shorts. I played with more of the cooler toned elements like the teal. This kind of almost shows mauve-y on my skin when I combine it with the brown and then the brown. Today I want to pull in more elements from the warmer parts, but I do want a little element of the like turquoisey shade as well. So I'm just gonna start by priming with my Profusion primer, just like usual. I'm just gonna take a little dollop of this and blend it out. I think for this look, I want kind of like a smoky lash sort of vibe with a Big Wings liner. I'm gonna layer a shimmer on top of it and then probably have pops of more shimmer on like the lower lash line. I think it'll be super fun, super cute. I'm excited to play with the orangey tones. I think it's gonna be really, really pretty. So I'm gonna start with something I never start with. I'm gonna start with the like ivory shade, and I'm just gonna take a big fluffy brush from Fantasy Cosmetica, and I'm gonna run this all over my lid. I literally never set my primer like this and like cover it with a shadow. I just go straight in with blending. But for the purposes of this look, a lot of my shadow work is gonna be focused on the lash line. So I just wanna make sure nothing is gonna transfer onto the sticky base throughout the rest of my crease. So that's what this is for. I still will always stand by that I don't need a shade like this in a palette because I can just use like my setting powder or something like that if I need to. But this shade does have a purpose, I suppose. It's also very brightening, which is fine. So I'm gonna start with Hippity Hoppity Boo. These names are something else. I'm gonna take this E24 from Sigma. I'm gonna tap it off. And I'm gonna start by just kind of focusing it in a smoky, wingy shape on that lower lash line. Like I'm kind of flicking it toward my brow, but I'm mostly just getting a little, like a soft halo of this shade. The shade is gonna get predominantly covered up with my winged liner. So it doesn't need to be anything crazy. I just want a little of it peeking through when I do put the liner down. And of course I am smoking some of this out in the outer corner of that lower lash line. Okay, so now I'm gonna take Carrot Cake, the darker brown. I'm gonna take this Sigma E30 pencil brush, and again, similar, I'm gonna kind of just smoke this in that outer little part of my lash line and flick it up toward the tail of my brow. And I'll start kind of smoking this against the outer corner of that lower lash line. This is gonna look like a very soft, simple look until I add my wing and go through with a bunch of shimmer. It's gonna take it to the next level. Very easy breezy start. So I mean, if you want like just an easy, fluffy little look, you could also just do this and stop here. Or just kind of like a little something something, but it's not like too overkill. This would absolutely work for something like that. Actually, it's kind of pretty just by itself. As someone who doesn't really do like soft neutral, that does look nice. Okay, going in with liner now. I'm gonna take my Rare Beauty liquid liner and I'm just going to flick that toward my brow. And honestly, I don't even think I want a full wing. I think I just want like a little half wing. So I want it to kind of stop about halfway, and then I'll just kind of connect that tail in the outer corner. Kind of something like that, and then I'll fill it in as the best as I can with my mirror a million miles away from me. Kind of sort of something like that. Not a bad first attempt, I will say. So I'm gonna repeat this on the other eye now, and then get it as close as possible, and then we'll layer some shimmer and sparkle and all the good things. Okay, I think that's as close as I'm gonna get. So now I'm gonna take my Beaute Bar Shimmer Stay. I'm going to take this little angled brush from Lethal. I'm gonna grab some of this product, just a little dabble, and I'm going to kind of pop that on my wing. Very small amount, don't need a lot. And then I'm gonna go in next with Velveteen, and I'm just gonna grab some of this shadow, overlay a light layer of this right on top of my wing. And it's gonna look super pretty. I like that shift. That's like it's like an icy peach on top of this black. It's really, really cool. I'm not mad about that at all. That's very cute. So again, this is kind of hard for me to do without a mirror inches from my face because this is a bit more precise, but I'm just going to cover my wing with this shadow and repeat it on the other eye, and then we'll move on to other things. Okay, here we are. I think that looks so cool. It's much more like an icy peach. So I feel like by itself, I mean, I guess it's still kind of an icy peach, but on top of the black, it looks even more icy peach. It's so pretty. I am gonna take just a little bit more of that orange matte on the big fluffy brush, just because I want to bring forth a little bit more of this color on that lower lash line, because I really did want this orangey shade to kind of pop through. I think it's really, really pretty. Yeah, that's what I want. So, so gorgeous. And then I'm gonna take Hoppy Hour, the turquoisey shade. I'm going to just use this little Game Beauty brush, and I'm gonna highlight my inner corner with this, and then I am gonna add some extra sparkle to this look as well, just because I figure why not? I really like this shade though. Like I could just keep piling this on all day. It's just so pretty. So I'm gonna take my Gavissi Technicolor flakes, or Technichrome flakes. This one's in the shade Crystal Ball. I'm gonna use this and add a little bit of it to the lower lash line. I feel like it'll kind of complement the peachy tones and the turquoisey tones. This is just a very ancient, old Luxie brush. Oh yeah, that's pretty. I feel like that's actually perfect. The little sparkle reflex literally complement both of those colors so perfectly. Yep, that's exactly what I wanted. I just needed a little extra glimmer in this look. Just a little bit of extra pizzazz. So I'm just gonna kind of spread this out on like the front part of that lower lash line. Take my big fluffy brush, and not that you can really blend glitter, but you know, disperse it a little bit more so there's no like weird harsh chunk. But I think that's so cute. This went from being such a like subtle little nothing look to very sparkle. And I like it. Okay, my mascara is done. I threw in my Milk Makeup Kush, And then my eye pencil is Icebreaker from ColourPop. I felt like it went with that inner corner really nicely. I'm really happy with this look. I think it's really pretty. But we need to do lips now. I figured we could do something orangey to kind of go with the orange vibe. So I'm going to start with Cinnamon Pencil from Lawless. This is one of my favorites. Such a good color. So, so pretty. Just going to kind of line and lightly blend to fill in. And then same with the top. I'm actually kind of torn between a gloss and a lipstick. I think I'm going to start lipstick, and if I like that, I'll leave it. But I can always top a lip gloss over top. I'm going to use an oldie, Peanut Butterbuster from Beauty Bakerie, that survives every declutter. I don't even think this exists anymore. I don't even know if this brand exists anymore. But it's such a cute color. And I feel like every year throughout the year, I kind of forget about it. And then every declutter, I remember it. And I'm like, I have to have this. And it's still such a good, like the formula still feels so nice. So I'll probably keep this forever until I either eventually use it all or it goes bad. And actually, I think I'm liking just the matte lip. I think that looks really, really pretty. Obviously, if you know me at all, you know I love gloss. Like, gloss is my go-to. But I don't know. I feel like as we're in like fall, creeping into like the holiday season and then winter, I love a matte lip. It's just pretty. I feel like this just goes with the vibe so well. Well, here is look number 2 complete. I think this is so pretty. This is so drastically different than look number 1. Like, it is night and day. But this is so pretty. I love the way this like peachy shimmer is on top of the wing. I love that it's only a half wing as well. I just think it's very pretty, very ethereal. Love all the glitter. Love the two like color combos together. I think this is so fun, and I really hope you like it as well. Let's move on now to look number 3. Okay, hello, look number 3. I want to dive into the Classic Autumn palette by Dede Signature. I played with this the other day already actually as well. I played with kind of the greeny tones. Today I want to play with like the red, mustard, and purple. I think it'll be so pretty. I want something very smoky today. I feel like that'll be kind of different from what I've done with like look 1 and look 2. I feel like drastically different actually, so we're just gonna dive into it. I just have on an old beanie from Amazon, and that's pretty much all I have for you. So I'm just gonna prime with my Profusion primer as per usual. Just going to blend it out and we will get started with all this smokiness. So I want to start with Eggplant. I'm going to use my Sigma E38 brush. I'm just taking a little bit of this because I kind of just want this to be in the front little pocket of my like lid and crease. My lid's going to be covered with red, so I just want this little bit of purple to kind of peek through in the front portion. I think it'll be a pretty little accent and take it to a different level than it just being like a red and yellow look. I feel like the purple will add that little bit of extra interest. Maybe a little bit more, I don't know, harvesty. I don't know. It's a fall palette. And I'm very excited to be using it. I really enjoyed using it the other day, so I'm happy to be using it again. All right, feeling good about that splash of purple. I want to take Beats now. I'm going to use the Sigma E38 brush, and I'm just going to start stamping this all over my lid. I am going to use the yellow to kind of blend out that outer corner. So I just want this to stay kind of tight to my lid. I'm not going to take this up super far. I do want it to blend into that purple, and I am going to be laying a shimmer over top of this as well. But I do want to just get a nice smoky, blendy base before I do so. Taking just a little bit more of the purple and just kind of doing a light little blend here in the front to have a nice little gradient flowing from that purple to the red. I think that's really pretty. I think that added a really good just combination there. Okay, so I'm gonna take the shade Pumpkin now. I'm gonna use my Singe E03 brush. Just gonna tap that off and start lightly blending the edge of this red. I'm not taking this in the front at all just because I don't want that yellow and purple to touch. I don't want them to muddy together. They're beautiful in the same realm, but blending them together can create a little bit of a muddiness that I don't want. So I'm just gonna lightly blend the edge of this red and let it kind of feather out into that yellow. I think that looks really, really nice. Just kind of a splash of like fall tones going across my lid. It's pretty. I'm also gonna take some more of that pumpkin shade, and I want to pop some of this against that lower lash line on the bottom because I don't want anything too crazy on the lower lash today, but I do want a little bit of that mustard. I might even bring in a little bit of that mustardy shimmer as well, just for a little something, but I want the actual like lid itself to be the star. So I'm gonna take the Figs shade now, the red metallic. I'm just gonna use the same brush that I used the matte. I'm not even gonna use glitter primer because I don't really need like I'm okay if it's just a little bit more of a topper. I'm just doing a very light layer of this just to add a metallic glow to what I've already done, because I feel like the work's already done. I just want a little bit of that glowy vibe. And I'll just kind of go through again with a little bit more of eggplant in the front, just to kind of blend that all together, keep that flowing. And of course, a little bit of pumpkin in that outer corner as well. Just kind of blending from that red into that mustard. Yeah, I feel like the metallic took it to another level. It's really pretty. So I do want to take apricots now. I'm just gonna use a little pencil brush. This is an old Luxie, what are you? 111, it has kind of like a weird angle. But I just want to push some of this, kind of starting like a third of the way in, and then blending just into that matte mustard that I laid down. Mostly just focused in the center of my lower lash line, honestly. I feel like that's kind of cute, just adds like a little extra twinkle down here. And just because there isn't really a better highlighting shade in this palette, we're gonna take the Silver Dragon Fruit, just using a little Game Beauty brush, just to pop here in the front. Actually, that complements the purple in the front really nicely. I kind of like this like contrast between the silver and the gold. I think that's cool. Threw on my Milk Makeup Kush mascara, and I also threw in my ColourPop Toucan Do It eye pencil to just enhance that yellow lower lash. I think it's very cool. And then for lips, I genuinely just want something simple. So I'm gonna start with my Wise pencil from Rare Beauty. This is just kind of like a warm brown. So I'm just gonna line and lightly fill in. This is one of my favorite lip pencils. I love this color. And then I'm gonna take my Dose of Colors Flashy Gloss, just a sheer gloss with little gold sparkles. Genuinely just wanted like an easy lip for this look. I thought about going with a mustard lip, but I don't know, I kind of just wanted the eyes to do their own thing all by themselves. And I just love this gloss. I haven't worn it in a while. So yeah, this is the third and final look. I hope you like it. I feel like it's just giving smoky fall vibes, and I think it's very pretty. I like the way these colors play together. I've really enjoyed using this palette. But yeah, let's just zoom out and I'll give you my thoughts on all three palettes so far. Thank you so much for watching. I really appreciate you being here and hanging out. I would love to know which look was your favorite. I feel like I have no choice but to give it to look number one because it was just such a cool, dramatic, bold cut crease. But I really enjoyed all three of these looks. I feel like they were all so different, and I just loved the range I was able to get out of all three of these palettes. I think it's been very fun. But let's talk about them now. First is the Just a Taste. I just think this is stunning. I love, love, love just how it's very much in my brain like half fall, half winter. I love these moody shades. I feel like the moody half is really screaming in my soul right now. I really enjoy the way these all play together. But you can also do very light and airy looks. The look I filmed for Instagram and YouTube Shorts, which may or may not already be up by the time this video goes up. I did a very light look though. I played with like a lot of the lighter tones, and it was super pretty as well. So I feel like you get a lot of options with this while still sticking with the same general like moody vibe, if that makes sense. I've really enjoyed playing with this one. I think the mattes are really lovely to work with. I've loved how much Unearthly has stepped up their formulas over the last like year and a half or so. I feel like their palettes over the last year have just been their best ever. And these metallics are just so pretty. They're smooth and reflective and sparkly and just so eye-catching. I'm really happy with this one. The Happy Go Lucky by Ensley Reign. I think this is a cutie. I'm liking seeing just what they've done so far with the 6-pan Woodland eyeshadow palettes. I will say I'm just personally someone who's not like a neutrals with pop of color kind of girl usually. I feel like I've been able to get more out of this than just like neutrals with pops of color, but I am excited to see future launches hopefully having more like colorful matte options. I'd like to see just completely different themes going on. I do feel like this stands on its own versus the Nutty by Nature, but I want to continue seeing how this expands, and I want different tones, different colors. So looking forward to seeing that, but I do enjoy just the quality of this. The mattes are beautiful, easy to work with. I feel like very easy to just throw in a bag if you're someone who likes easy makeup, especially on the go. Maybe you're someone who's wanted to try this brand, but you don't want to spend the money on one of the bigger palettes. I feel like this series will be something that will be really great for you. The shifty shadows in the middle are just so pretty. They're so twinkly and lovely, and magical looking on the lid. So even though this isn't like my perfect color story just in terms of my preferences, I do still think this is really fun, and I'm excited to see where things continue to go. And last but not least, the Classic Autumn. The way this brings me so much joy. I think this is so pretty. I love the tones. I love these really pretty metallics. Even today where I used it more as like a topper, I still think it's really pretty and just shiny looking. I love the mattes. I feel like they blended and behaved so well, and I'm just very excited about it. Like I said, I've already did a look on like Instagram and YouTube Shorts with the green shades, and it was so pretty as well. I just love this. I love these kinds of tones. It's one of my favorite things. So this one is also a big hit for me. But I'm very curious to hear your thoughts. Have you picked any of these up? Do you want any of these? I would love to hear your thoughts down below. If you made it to the end of this video, out of these 3 palettes, pick your favorite and leave emojis to represent that palette. And if you like this video, please give it a thumbs up. It helps my channel out a lot. And if you're not already, you can hop over to my Instagram. I'm BATTYBEAN there as well. And you can also subscribe. I'm posting most days over here. I would also love it if you hopped over to my second channel linked in my description box if you want some additional content. In my description box, you'll also find my channel memberships. I would love to have you. There's a couple different tiers with a couple different perks. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll catch you in the next one. Okay, bye.